Hey guys, Wallen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Masterpiece 32 Convoy, or in other words, Optimus Primal right here. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, I have over 300 videos where this guy has been gracing the cover for so long, and this is the Robot Masters Convoy or Optimus Primal right here. And you know, Beast Wars has always been my favorite cartoon. You know, I was young enough to watch Generation 1 Transformers, but really, Beast Wars was what I grew up on, honestly, and it was my favorite, and still is my favorite cartoon. So let's open this up finally. I'm really excited, and let's go. Alright, so taking him straight out of the box, you can see how he's packaged right here. It's pretty nice. You have his alternative gorilla faces right there, his regular faces right there as well. Comes with 2 swords, and that's pretty much it, actually. I think there's a card in there, and you do have the instructions as well of a card. We'll look into that later. But yeah, pretty decent packaging, pretty standard, and doesn't have a lot of stuff, but that's okay because he does have cannons in his arms, also on the shoulders are built into him, so that's always pretty cool. So let's take him out. Alright, so here is Optimus Primal in his beast form right here, and it looks pretty good, I have to admit. I like how it looks. Here's a quick size comparison with his Robot Masters counterpart right here. As you can see, he's a lot bigger than him. This one was pretty good with the old original Beast Wars figures. I think he fit in pretty well. Obviously, nowadays there are the Generation ones are a little bit bigger, but I know a lot of people are wondering how is this guy gonna stack up with the new figures, with the old figures. You have to remember, I'm gonna say this off the bat, you have to remember this is a Masterpiece figure. He's gonna be a little bit bigger because they jammed in a lot of stuff. It's a great looking figure, has a lot of good stuff on him, but it comes at a price, so he's a little bit bigger than he should be. But you might not even care about it because it's so nice. Like I'm not gonna have him with any other figures. This guy's gonna be by himself on a shelf with lights on him, just by himself, because he's such a nice Masterpiece figure. Now I know a lot of people have seen pictures of him with the new generation's Rhinox, and this guy is still bigger than him. And I know a lot of people might not care about it, but I mean, if you're a little stickler like me, you know, this form of Optimus Primal was never bigger than Rhinox, never was. Around the same size and scale, but Rhinox was vastly bigger than him. So I just want to say that off the bat. I have to prove with pictures, I will, but yeah, so this is going to say that right now. This guy is a little bit bigger than you would like him to be for your collection, but you might not even care because he's such a nice looking figure. So let's take a look at him up close right now. As you can see, his face sculpt looks pretty good. He does have 2 other ones, which we will look at soon. But going down the body, you do see some lines, you know, where the transformation happens. Not a bad thing at all. I'm going down right now to the rest of the body, his feet right there. His side of his body, you know, the fur part is pretty nice. You know, they almost like, you can see the detail in it, the little lines, almost like a fur look, hair look. It's a nice matte feel to it as well. The chest part and stomach are a little bit more glossy feeling to it, which is not that bad. Very understandable too. So something with the same thing with his hands and his feet as well, as you can see right there. So when it comes to paint, I think it looks pretty good. Sculpting wise, it looks fantastic. They did a great job hiding as much as they can from the robot mode. Like in the old version right here, you take a look at it, you can see the white over here, you see the white over here. They tried their best to hide it over here, the arm, which is really hard to do. But they did a great job when it comes to the front of the legs. You do have it in the back though, right here, just like this one did. But you can't really do that much about that, honestly. And I don't really mind that because how many times are you really going to look at Optimus Primal in beast mode from the back? You never will. Looking at the front, he looks awesome looking right there. Alright, so getting into articulation really quickly on this beast mode form right here. It's pretty good, I have to admit. For the head, it actually does move, which is pretty nice. It goes left and goes right. You do kind of bring it up a little bit to do that. Also goes all the way up like that, which is pretty good. So when he's kneeling over, he does look straight, which we'll get to soon. For the shoulders, they go all the way around, no problems there. Up and down, right there as well. And they also have almost like a butterfly joint in there as well, so that's pretty good too. We'll get to that soon. He does have a bicep swivel right there, 1 point at the elbow. He does have a wrist swivel, which is pretty good too. And at the hands, they do open up, which is pretty nice. And he does, so the index finger moves by itself, while the other 3 are stuck together, but it's still pretty good. I have to admit that. He doesn't have a waist swivel or ab joint right there. His legs are ball joints, it looks like, and they're pretty good. For right now though, they only go in and out like that. They do go forward a little bit to the side like that, but you have to angle it down later. I'll show you that soon. He doesn't have anything on the knees, and at the ankles he does have pretty good pivots right there, left and right, and then go up. No, they don't. Actually, it's just a pivot pretty much. I mean, you could bend it down a little bit, but I think that's more about the transformation, but you can see that right there. But if you want him to get in that pose like a gorilla, what you do actually is you go to the back right here, you flip this up like so, and you actually bring down the whole leg part, almost attaching it right there. And that way it brings it lower, so you got to bring the knees forward a little bit more like that. And then you bring this down so it doesn't look so ugly. Then you bring the shoulders forward, because those have the butterfly like joints there, like that. Bring his hands forward like that, and now you can bring his head up like so. So it looks like he is like a real gorilla, like that. So it's not bad, pretty good, pretty cool. I mean, the old figures are pretty much like that as well, so you see it right there. But like I said before earlier, that I know that this figure is not in scale with your original Transformers that much, pretty much. I still like the size, you know why? But he fits in pretty well, in my opinion, with your 6-inch figures if you collect them a lot. Let's get him standing up straight. I'm going to show you guys a quick size comparison in his beast form with some 6-inch figures, because I honestly don't collect Transformers that much anymore. I feel like, I mean, I still love them, but I don't collect them that much. But like I said before, this guy is not going to be with the rest of my Transformers. He's going to be with one of the great figures in my collection. And here he is next to some 6-inch figures. And I have to say, that looks pretty cool to have Optimus Primal, one of your favorite figures growing up, standing pretty much good scale, side by side with your favorite superheroes right there. And we'll transform him later and stand them next to each other as well. But I like how it looks. And if you guys remember the episode of Beast Wars when he had to catch the Axelon from falling in the sky, he was like Superman. And there they are next to each other right there. So, alright, so quickly right now we're going to take a look at his different head sculpts, and it's pretty easy to do. Actually, you could take his head off if you want to. It's on a ball joint like that, which is not that bad. And if you want to take these faces off and switch them out, you just pull these off just like that. There are two little pegs right there. And he has two different faces, which is not bad looking. It's a happy face, got an angry face. So we'll take a look at the angry face first. And you just pop that in like that. Looks pretty good. Yeah. And then you pop the head back on. Just like that. Pretty self-explanatory right there. Now that we had the head off, there is a screw right here which you will unscrew to open this up, and you actually place batteries in there. So we're going to do that really quickly. Give me 1 second to unscrew it. Now that you have the cover off, you put the batteries in one side at a time. I think I'm doing it the right way. Looks like that. And we won't know until we actually try it out later. But we will see. Alright, so normally when it comes to transforming figures, I don't like doing it on camera. I actually filmed this already. I'm refilming it right now because I implore you guys to really watch this, because it is one of the more simpler transformations from a masterpiece figure. But there are some tricks and stuff you might want to know about when you do it yourself, because, as I said, it is pretty straightforward, but it could get a little bit messy sometimes because the panels are really stuck together. Sometimes you might have to maneuver it in a certain way to really get stuff out. So I want you guys to watch this if you can, because it is simple, like I said, but it could be a little bit of troublesome in certain areas. So first off, what you want to do is bring out the arms and bring them forward to get some clearance right there, and do that just like that. Hopefully I'm in focus. So what you want to do next is you want to pull these out, and you might need some nails to do it, because they might not be that easy to get to. The more you do it, the easier these panels might become, so just be aware of that as well. And what you want to do is bring out the backpack. The best way I find is to bring these down, bring this up as well, and then that way you have a better grip right here, and you can kind of pull on it. Even when I do this another time, or pull that up like that. So you bring that up like that, you leave it like that, you go back to the front, right there, and then you go to the chest part, you bring the bottom part out first a little bit, like that, detach it, and then the chest part over here, you're going to bring up the head a little bit like that, and then bring this out just like that. You see that? And that's when you rotate the head up like so. There you go. And then from there, what you want to do is you want to bring this chest piece back in, but you want to bring it in, and you're going to collapse into the chest like that. Okay? And then from here, what you can do for now is flip this around like that, and then the panels over here, there's a little panel, a little of a hinge, and a little, let me zoom in. So you can see in there, the little sockets and little hinge tabs in like that, and keeps it in there like that. Actually, I said this later in the video, but if you want to do this right now to get it over with, what you can do is to bring the jetpack up, you can actually slide it back like that and get it over with now, so you don't have to do it later. And then from there, you tab in everything like that. But now going back to over here, so this part, what you want to do is you want to get your nail into the bottom over here, and this could be a little bit troublesome as well, but you just have to keep at it. Bring it up, flip it around, bring it down like that, and then you see these two little pieces right here, they go into the chest like that. Very good. You're good right now. Bring that down and bring this part up like that. Next, zoom out a little bit, get in focus. Working the legs. Now the legs are pretty, might be a little bit harder as well, but what you want to do first, if you want to, is flip these back out, and you flip in the feet, but you leave these little tabs up as back supports. Same thing right here. Flip it back up for back supports. And then what you want to do, get some room, you want to do that. Bring these down for now, bring these down for now. And this is where it could get a little tricky, because see these parts right here, you need to flip these so it's red. But you might not have enough clearance, so what I find it easiest to do is take the leg and bring it back as far as you can, inside there. Try to see that. Because this little panel right here, this little nudge right there was blocking it. So the best thing to do is bring it all the way back so you have enough clearance to slide it finally forward. It might not even have enough. There you go. That one last click should have done it. And there you go. And there you go. You have it there. Because I had to bring that up. Sometimes this little thing right here is blocking it. So on the other side, the same thing. You want to bring it all the way back if you can, all the way back, so that way you can get that forward like that. And then you can proceed to bring the legs down like that, and you bring this up right here so it stays into place. And the back part over here, you rotate it like that. Bring it forward all the way. You bring this up like that, rotate it back, bring it down, and now you can flip him over like that. The legs, bring these down, and you know the shoulder pads pretty much, you move them enough, they stay like that, you don't have to do anything. And then you got Optimus Primal transformed. So, like I said before, you know, it's pretty simple, but there are some key things that you want to know about to get the transformation to go a little bit more smoother. Because honestly, when I first was doing it, getting this chest part was not that easy, and then getting the legs, so the red part was probably the hardest part. But the more familiar you become with it, the easier it gets. Alright, so here is Optimus Primal in his robot mode, and he looks awesome looking. I have to admit though, right off the bat, I'm a little bit angry because when I was transforming him and I brought the head out, I noticed that my face sculpt in the front there has a little bit of a scratch, which kind of ticks me off, but I'll just repaint it. Not that big of a deal, but not something you want to see right away. But since we're looking at his head sculpt, like I said before, if you want to put the batteries in, you can light them up. Press his head down, and there you go. That looks pretty cool. I like how that looks. Not bad, not bad. And they do turn off by themselves after a couple seconds, so you don't have to worry about draining the battery. But taking a look at the figure itself, at the head sculpt, he looks awesome. I love how he looks. Love the part over here. The paintwork looks really nice too. A nice shiny look to it, almost like a pearl look, which is pretty nice. Going down here to his chest plate, I love that chest plate. You never get sick of looking at that. Looks pretty cool, almost like wings coming out and stuff like that. Looks pretty nice. Going down to the side, pretty good paintwork. It's almost matte feel to it, which is not bad. You know, nothing crazy, nothing special. Just pretty much how he looked like in the cartoon, which you just want to have. And you can't really say anything much about that. Even down here at his feet, he does have a pivot right there, which is pretty nice, and the little gear over here, socket, you know, it goes with everything, so that's pretty cool as well. But we'll get into articulation soon. Now getting to accessories right now, he does have the two swords, of course, and you look closely, they do have little notches on both sides of the handle, and both of his hands actually have the little notch holes right there, so they do peg in pretty good, and you have to add a support. I'm trying to get that one in there. Get a good feel. And when you bring down, so that's nice added support, but when you bring down the index finger like that, you really get the sword in there, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out or anything. There's a good grip, and it feels pretty nice. You can also take the other one, or both of them in general, because they both have notches as well on the sides there, and you can put them in the back and store them, which is pretty good. So let's get this one back there. So you can have them both stored in the back if you want to do that. I don't know if I will do that, but it's a nice option to have if you want to do that. Alright, now let's get to the best part of this figure, in my opinion, is the arm cannons. And I love how they look so much. Man, they did a great job executing this. So basically what you want to do is, you want to slide, take a look at the up in the arm right there. You want to put your finger in there to slide up the arm cannons. They'll pop it up like that, as you can see right there. I'm going to pop this up, bring this back, bring this forward, and there you got some awesome looking side cannons right there, or arm cannons that is. I love how these look. They did a great job executing this so much. Let's do the other side as well. Did a great job. You know, I had the original Ultra Class Optimus Primal back in the 90s. Didn't really do a great job executing it. Like, I remember it came up the other way, you know, not sideways like that. You know, two on each side. It was like the other way, and the whole arm broke open. It was just horrible looking. The Robot Masters one, on the other hand, though, did a decent job, better than the other one. And this one just popped up like that, and you have it right there. A little small though, but they did a better job in my opinion. But these, I love how this looks. Man, I loved it when he used these on the cartoon. Honestly though, he only used it like one at a time though. It was really rare that he used both of them. Only in like big time battles he did it. Also when he really needed the extra firepower. I remember one episode, I think it was Law of the Jungle, when Tigertron didn't want to be in the war anymore basically, and Dinobot had to go get him, stuff like that. But one time he was flying in the air, brought both the cannons out like that. I think he also even had these too on the side for the extra power. But I think it was Pterosaur and Waspinator coming at him, and no music, no sound. He just flew in the air, come out, right? Everything comes out, and then boom! So much firepower from flying back, and then all 4 of those blasts hit both Waspinator and Pterosaur at the same time, and that was so cool to see. Yeah, I love Beast Wars, guys. You know, it wasn't, and it still is my favorite cartoon. I'm like an encyclopedia, honestly. Yeah, but that was a good episode too. And then I think that's when he got knocked out of the sky from Inferno, and then Inferno was about to blast him and Dinobot, who were in beast mode because they were all low on energy, and that's when Tigertron comes back to the battle. So yeah, pretty cool. So, looking at the other cannons, the shoulder cannons on the side right here are pretty self-explanatory. They just slide up. Nothing special about them. They look pretty nice. A nice gunmetal paint job on them. And they look pretty cool though. So, fold those back if you want to. Now taking a look at his backpack right here, if you want to put him in the flight mode, what you want to do is you gotta kind of detach these first a little bit to get some room. You bring this up as well, and then you basically just slide this back like that. So you have the jetpack right there, and you can bring it back down, clip it back into place. And that's pretty much it. You can honestly do that from the very beginning when you are transforming the figure if you want. Just leave it out like that. But yeah, that is flight mode for him. So you can... Alright, now taking a look at his face plates right here. If you want to change them out to either of these right here, the best way to do it, I know it could be hard for some people, but what I found easiest is actually to slide these back, which actually do move. And that way you get your fingernail in there and pull a little bit on each side to get them out. Just like that. And we will use this one because a lot of people like this one as well. Very reminiscent of Optimus Prime right there, which is pretty cool. And we'll bring down the eyes like that. And then last we'll do the other one. The other one looks very similar to the one he came with. Almost like more of a smirk on it though. Obviously you can't see that because you're not in focus, but just keep that one in like that. And I might just leave that one in because I know the other one had a scratch on it, and this one looks pretty good too right there. So this is just an edit right here. I forgot to mention that other than the 3 face plates that I showed before, he actually has a 4th one that I put on his face right now, and he kind of has not an angry look at him, but his eyes are a little bit more squinted on the left, you know, a little bit more squinted. His mouth is open as well. So he definitely has very similar faces on all of them, but there are some key differences. Like this one is a smile, but his eyes are a little bit more squinted, and this one is just normal while his eyes are a little bit wider. So you could mix and match whatever you want. So just want to point that out, there is a 4th one as well. Alright, now going to articulation, he has ball joint ahead that goes up pretty good, goes down a little bit, and left and right, no problems there. Shoulder joints that rotate on hinges, they go up, down, no problems there, very good, in and out, no problems there. Bicep swivel right there, 1 point at the elbow right there as well, and a hinge swivel at the wrist over there, which is pretty well hidden, which I like a lot. The fingers, like I said before, they do rotate. The index finger moves by itself while the other 3 are stuck together. He does have, in this mode, he does have a waist swivel, which is pretty good there. Nice ratchet as well. And at the hips right here, I thought they were ball joints, but they're actually ratchet joints. So they go all the way out like that. Splits, forward, back, no problems at all, obviously. He does have a thigh swivel too. 1 point at the knee right there. And at the ankle, he has pretty good hinge right there, goes up and down, pivots left and right as well, so that's very good articulation, and you could kind of have a toe joint if you want to do it like that. So very great articulation for this figure, and he just looks so good. I am so happy to finally have him in my collection. My favorite, along with Dinobot from season 1, I actually liked his Transmetal figure a lot as well, and I just love the Optimal Optimus version as well. I know a third-party one company is coming out with that, and I can't wait to pick that one up too. But yeah, overall, it's a great figure. We'll go into quality control really quickly. You know, everything feels very good and sturdy. Nothing feels loose. All the joints are very sturdy and nice. The legs right here, you just might have to worry about this little thing falling back inward a little bit, but not a big deal. It won't go in all the way, so that's the most it will go. If it does move a little bit, you just fix it yourself. But like I said, the transformation it's very simple, the transformation, but it could be a little bit of a troublesome thing to do because all the joints, all the panels are really in there. But once you get them out, it's pretty good. But I have to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed in the transformation. Don't get me wrong. From Beast Mode, which looks awesome, to Robot Mode, which looks awesome, they did a great job in hiding a lot of stuff, adding things in the way it should be to make this figure look awesome. So I'm not going to really blame them. But I do miss the simplicity of this transformation. Like in the TV show, his transformation was just like head down, bam, these are going up, and at the same time he's rotating back like that, and he slide down, just like in a cartoon. That was awesome to see, awesome to look at. So I kind of missed that. But you do pay a price, obviously, because he won't be as accurate or as awesome as this one right here. So like I was surprised that when I did the head part, that the head doesn't pop down. You actually have to rotate the head all the way around, and then yeah, whatever. It's not bad. I still love this figure a lot. It is awesome. I'm not gonna complain. This figure is so cool. Alright, size comparisons. Here is Optimus Prime with Captain America and Superman from the respected toy companies. I have to say, I like how it looks. It's not that bad, guys. Honestly, they look better together than if you were to stand him next to an MP-10 or something like that, which is really not in scale. It's pretty good. When he's in Beast Mode, he shrinks down a little bit because his legs aren't folded up. But when he's in Robot Mode, he's a little bit bigger. I have to say, I like how this looks, and I never thought in my life I would ever have awesome looking figures like Superman and Optimus Primal standing side by side and looking pretty good together. I mean, you can now have Optimus Primal shaking Superman's hand, and that is really cool to have. Dream come true for me right here, guys. Dream come true. Now for another size comparison, here he is of some other figures in my Transformers collection. Now, I know you guys are going to butcher me because I'm usually on top of size comparisons, but I don't have all of my Beast Wars figures out anymore, or they're pretty much in storage and I cannot get to them right now. But I just want to show you guys how he looks with other figures. And like I said, he's not going to match up the best of any different series because he is a masterpiece figure, almost in his own scale, to be honest. If you had the new generation Beast Wars figures, you might get lucky with some figures here and there, but he's still not going to fit in 100% correctly. But like I said in the beginning, you might not care at all, which I don't. And you guys know how big I am on size comparisons and figures being in the right scale. Because this guy is so cool, he deserves to be on his own display shelf with the lights coming down, just looking so cool. This is something that you want to pose by himself, because he is the man right there. Now, if you want a better idea how tall he is about just above 7. He's about 7¼ inches tall. I'm not gonna say 7.5. It's not quite there. I'm talking about the head. So yeah, like I said before, he won't really match the best of some of your other Transformers. But you know what? He looks pretty cool with your other figures. So. Alright guys, so that's basically it. I know this was a lengthy review, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and found some things interesting. Like I said before, I love this figure Transformer a lot. Like I said, Optimus Prime, my favorite character ever. He's been gracing the cover of all my videos for the past years, and he won't stop. I'm still gonna keep him. But this guy, man, he is great looking, awesome looking. Everything about him is so accurate to the TV show. Maybe not scale wise, but like I said, you're not gonna care about it. The guns are awesome, the paintwork is awesome, the effects are awesome like that. I just love this figure a lot, and I hope you guys get him yourself and you enjoy him too. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go to wildandcustoms.com. If you like the video, get a thumbs up. Peace.